All right, guys, welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We are here with Stadium Rant, and tonight we're here to do the top 10 group of 5 best teams this year. Plus, stay tuned to the end for our 12-team playoff predictions.
When you get to the point where you do the work consistently, you invest in yourself consistently, you make sacrifices consistently when everybody else is slacking off, when everybody's partying, when everybody's making excuses, you will dominate every single person you're up against, and your limits become non-existent.
Welcome in, guys. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We are here to do our group of 5 best top 10 teams in college football playoff predictions. I've got John Hammonds here with me tonight. It's just going to be him and I. What's up, John? Maybe he's here with me.
Yeah, I'm here. I was on mute. My bad.
All right. All right. So we are here to do our playoff predictions later in the show, but we are going to start with our top 10 group of 5. But before we get to that, let me get to the Facebook stuff. I'm going to show this up on the screen, guys. So if you're with us on Facebook, we appreciate you, or with YouTube, we appreciate you. Facebook, you can help support us by sending stars, or you can subscribe for just 99 cents a month. It does give you your own subscribers page and a subscribers chat. And we try to put things in there at times that others do not see, give you some first looks and that kind of stuff. So again, that's just 99 cents a month. All right. And if you are on YouTube with us, please like and subscribe. If you are on Facebook, like, follow, and subscribe for 99 cents a month.
And we have a college football pick'em thing that is running right now. It's only $5. You pick you pick the winners, and at the end of the year, whoever wins the most games, I'm guessing, wins the pot of money. So
yep, you can go to Twitter to Brad CS Cast. I have put it on there. You can also go to our Facebook page. It is at the top of the page. I have it pinned. So it is our college football pick'em challenge.
I'm actually going to do it after the show. So
trying to get as many people as I can on that. So that would be great. Have a little fun this season.
I think we got 12 so far, right? 12, maybe 13,
14, something like that. I'm trying to get as many as possible, but that way we can have a little fun on our game day pick'ems. Our game day pick'em show that we do on Friday nights. We can have a short little segment where we update the week winners and who's leading and that kind of stuff, and have a little bit of fun with it this year. So, but yes, please check that out. And it's just going to be John and I tonight. If you are with us, we have had some guests with us through the SEC media days and our Power 4 conference previews. So we appreciate Will and Nicholas being here with us and having some guests on the show. And they may hop in and be some regulars with us here and there this year. So we are excited to have them on the show as well. But John, we are going to get started with some group of 5 teams. This is basically our top 10 on the group of 5s. And we're actually going to start with one that's already played a game. They played this Saturday night and beat Sam Houston 41-24. So they are 1-0. They played one of the 5 games from FBS on week 0 Saturday night. And John, I'm going to be honest with you, their quarterback looked good.
He did. Maverick McIver. He's a veteran quarterback. He played at Abilene Christian. Now, I will say they lost 4 pass catchers, some of their top guys, but they did get Katie Hutchison back. They got Matthew Henry from Western Illinois. They got a lot of those guys through the portal. Their offensive line is what struggled last year, I think, a little bit. They need to generate some more protection. Defense was really inconsistent at times. The secondary is going to be tested a lot more. They did get Jalen Lewis from Temple. He had a 43 tackle year a year ago. So Western, if you look at the overall schedule, and we'll get into that, their schedule is winnable, manageable. Now they do play Alabama, which is more likely going to be a lot.
No, they play LSU later in the year.
LSU.
They played Alabama last year.
It's LSU, my bad.
Yeah.
So I think, that's probably going to be a loss. But
here's the thing. I think when you look at their schedule, keys to the season, I picked some of these teams because they are a group of 5 teams that I think will have some chances to win some really key games, if they could knock off 1 or 2. And all of these teams just about play a key game like that. Well, and Western started out with Sam Houston, which is not a bad school. And then 2 weeks from now, they play Toledo, the same team that Kentucky's playing.
Yeah.
They play Toledo on the road 2 weeks from now. And the same Toledo team that Kentucky's playing at home this week. So, I mean, that's another big key game for them as well. And we'll get to Toledo a little later in the show. But for Western, if they could knock off some of those teams, John, Toledo on the road, LSU, play with them even, I mean, it would be impressive.
Yeah, I think it'll be another season, 8 or more wins. They could be in the mix for the Conference USA Championship. I know Jacksonville State is in a rebuild mode. A road game at Louisiana Tech could be, blah, whatever. But this is probably one of their most easiest schedules in the country. And Western has to take advantage of that opportunity. And I think they will. I like Tyson Helton. I think he's a really good coach.
I like Helton a lot.
He's a really, really, really good coach.
He is. Western, and I'm going to call them Western around here. I'm from this area, so I only live about 20 minutes from the campus. So WKU or Western Kentucky. And they've had a really good decade run, 10, 12 years. They've been really good. Went to bowl games, won bowl games.
And some of the players that I kind of want to jump out at, like I said, Jalen Lewis is one. He's a junior. You got Matthew Henry. He's a senior. Lavelle Wright is a running back. It's really, really good. I really like their quarterback, Maverick McIver. I thought he played really well against Sam Houston State.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 401 yards. I mean, they throw the ball all over the field. They had 50-plus attempts, and that's what kind of offense they run, John.
Yeah, they've always run that. Now, a year ago, it wasn't as explosive, but I think they need to get that. They need to get the offensive movement back to fast like they did. You know, 6 bowl appearances in 6 years. To me, it's hard to argue with an 8-win season. Shoot, Kentucky,
right?
Having an 8-win season for me is
and
like
they've had some 8, 9, 10-win seasons, even counting bowl games.
Well, and the thing that really killed Western last year is their offense did not do good down the stretch. Defense struggled. They started out 7-2 and it ended up 8-6. And they lost to Louisiana Tech. Now they did beat Jacksonville State. So you got to get improved this season, and I think Tyson Helton will get them back to that level again.
All right, so let's get a schedule rundown for WKU. I know they already played Sam Houston and won 41-24. I can't remember who they play this week, and then 2 weeks from now, I know it's Toledo at Toledo. So that's going to be an interesting game.
It's at Toledo. They play North Alabama this week.
That's right.
At Toledo, home. Open date, Nevada at home, at Missouri State, at Delaware, FIU, at Louisiana Tech, New Mexico State, Middle Tennessee, at LSU, which is really I'm going to send you a paycheck type game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you got Jacksonville State on the road at the end of the year.
So they go to Toledo on the road, Jacksonville State on the road. I think that La Tech might be on the road.
It is.
So I mean, they have a tough road schedule, to be honest.
They do.
You know, you throw in LSU on the road as well into that bunch, and I mean, golly, they only have 6 home games out of the 12.
Yeah. Now they did beat Sam Houston. I think they'll beat North Alabama. Toledo is kind of
the Toledo game on the road is a key game. If they could get that win, John, and go into possibly, you know, that I think it's
Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada next. But I was thinking down the road, who do they play right before LSU?
Middle Tennessee at home.
Middle Tennessee, that's right. If they could go into that Middle Tennessee with only like 1 loss, I mean, you know, going into that game and go down the stretch with MTSU, beat them, LSU maybe lose, and then beat Jacksonville State. I mean, they might have a shot if they can beat that Toledo game. And that's the reason why I say Toledo here. I think it's a key game. If they could steal that win, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance for 10 wins here. But when it comes to actually playing for the college football playoff,
they would have to beat LSU to do that.
Their schedule is not set up for that. Now, when we talk about some of these others, their schedules are set up, like Boise. There's a few others that have that opportunity, but Western don't have many chances to impress the committee, except maybe the LSU game and maybe the Toledo game, depending on
the Toledo game on the road might impress them a little bit as well.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna go with probably 9 wins. I'm kind of want to stick back and maybe see how they go the rest of the year. But I think there's 9 wins on the table for Western.
I think 9 is the safe bet. 8 or 9. I'm going to go with 9. I think this team could actually get 10. I mean, it's possible.
I do. I think they're going to have to knock off or upset a team that they're not supposed to.
Right. All right. So still staying in Conference USA, Liberty is another team in Conference USA that I think is going to be right there. And it just so happens that Western and Liberty do not play each other this year out of that conference.
No, that's a key
Yeah,
thing for Liberty.
it is.
So
In the regular season, they do not match up.
That's kind of odd, ain't it?
It is.
I've never really seen it like that.
But Liberty lost their quarterback. He's actually starting at a Power 4 conference school.
You know what's crazy is this school has only been FBS for 7 years.
Yeah, and
you want to know another thing's crazy is that during those 7 years, it's never had a losing season.
And they've always been good. I think one year, didn't they go like 11-1 or 12-0 or something one year?
Went to the Fiesta Bowl, yes.
Yeah, I went to the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, honestly, this is a team that if they could run the table and another team or two lose in front of them out of the group of 5 teams, this is a team I could see maybe sneaking in if 2 or 3 teams lose in front of them.
If you look at them from a year ago, you lose at Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. You blow out BYU.
Yeah.
You beat Arkansas. Not many people are going to want to play you.
Exactly. This is a team that, I mean, like they play some big teams. I mean, they do that almost every year.
And I'm going to tell you something. Jamie Caldwell might be the most underrated coach. If many don't know, he was at Coastal Carolina.
Yep, and took Coastal Carolina.
He had Coastal Carolina on the brink of, and Coastal kind of took that and ran with it and brought in another coach and kind of used that same mentality, and it's kind of paying off for Coastal still. Now, I will say that Liberty lost a lot of parts, especially defensively in the portal. But to me, this is the most experienced and best team in the Conference USA. Last year it was kind of strange for them, though. I think they was 4th in the country in rushing, but they had a hard time throwing the football.
Which
Caden Salters was up and down at times. He's at Colorado now.
And was just named the starter, today or yesterday? Today, I think.
Today, I think.
I think it was today. He named the starter for Game 1 against Georgia Tech for Dion.
Their corners probably might be one of their biggest strengths. Dexter Ricks and Marion Williams. They had 5 picks a year ago. There's a lot of depth on this team. They're the rock of that defense. The safeties are good. They got a guy named Quentin Reese that's all Conference USA. Eldrick Griffin is a free safety. I'm telling you, man, nobody wants to play Liberty. You go to Arkansas, you beat BYU.
I mean, honestly,
you lose tight games to these teams such as Wake Forest, and a lot of people's not want to put you on the schedule. Let's just be honest.
Yep. Speaking of schedule, let's look at their schedule and do a quick little rundown of Liberty's schedule this year.
Let me pull up their schedule here. They play Delaware, at Jacksonville State, Maine, Missouri State, New Mexico State, at Bowling Green, at FIU, James Madison, Kennesaw State, at Louisiana Tech, at Old Dominion, at UTEP. And I'm going to be honest with you, Brad, there's no sure losses in there.
There's not. That's what, if they could run the table, John, they with that schedule, they absolutely have to run the table. But if they could run the table and say Tulane takes a loss or 2, Boise takes a loss or 2, Toledo takes a loss or 2, they won the table.
And I think you don't really have – I mean, you have a team like Western, like we just talked about, but you really don't have a dominant team in the Conference USA that really just comes up on the page and says, you know what, we're better than them. Like
Well,
it's very
James
10-win
Madison.
season.
I think they play James Madison. We're going to talk about them a little later. So James Madison is a team that, a big game for them. Talking about a key game, probably. That would be a bigger game for them this year, probably. Is that James Madison game?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think that's a big game for them.
Yeah.
I think, and I probably will set the win total at probably 10. You
with that schedule, I think they could get to 10, maybe 11.
Yeah, I mean,
and if they could run the table, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you could possibly get into the group of 5 playoff hunt, like Boise did a year ago. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's part of the reason why I put them in, was for that reason, to be honest with you. All right, John, we're going to get to a couple of, I think both the schools, Army and Navy, are now in the AAC. And if I am mistaken, you can correct me on that. But I think they both are in the AAC now. They're joining. I'm not sure if one of them is in and one's not, but I think they're both in now. Army, we're going to start with Army. I mean, Army had a pretty good year last year. The AAC is pretty stout. So what do you expect to see from this Army team this year, John?
You look at them a year ago, man. They beat a really good North Texas team. Took out Tulane.
Yep.
in the American Athletic Conference champion. Like, what can they do for an encore, Brad? Like, can they repeat what they did a year ago? Now, I will say they lost to Navy. Let's be fair, though. 131 years of Army football, no team had ever won 12 games in that,
Exactly. I mean, they were right there. They were right there last year. I think they have,
now there's some building to do with this team, but 5-1 record in bowls. Whew, Jeff Monken's a good coach, bro. Like,
he is.
He's a legit, and you know how it works, Brad, with Army. They're going to run the football. They're going to do their little thing. Army offense is always going to be Army. They'll do whatever they can to run the football. They did lose Kanye Oda to Arizona State, which I think will be a key loss for them. They got some lines, some experience coming back. Defense didn't actually have to play a lot of high-powered teams last year. Now, they did shut down North Texas. They only allowed 3 points to a North Texas team that was outscoring a lot of opponents last year.
Yep.
That's impressive.
And I mean, they beat Tulane, and they beat Tulane. I mean, the Army
secondary was good. They was 6th in the nation with 18 interceptions. Justin Weaver is coming off a 2 interception year. Casey Larkin is really, really good. Gavin Shields. They got a really good football team, and Army plays scrappy. They play hard, and you saw that a year ago. They just play football. They get after you, and they just go to work. And I love this Army team.
Yeah, they're impressive. Like you said, Monken is a great, great coach, to be honest with you. Doing a fantastic job with his Army team. Listen, this team, and next we're going to talk about Navy. This is different. This is not NIL. This is not this is not dipping into the portal and grabbing players. I mean, these are cadets, Navy. These are actual people who have signed up for the Army, enlisted, and just play football for the Army here. I'm going
to tell you, I was looking at their schedule. Now, they do play Kansas State on the road, and they play Tulane. And getting a win against Tulane is going to be tough because Tulane just loads every year with just Summerall. But everything else with this schedule wouldn't shock me if they got 10 wins.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is going to be a top 10 group of 5 team, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really do think they're going to be a top 10 team.
I mean, you got Charlotte,
out of the group
Tarleton
of 5.
State, Tulsa, at UAB, at Air Force, at East Carolina, Navy to finish the year, North Texas, Temple, at Tulane, at UTSA. And there's only one true loss on there, and that's Kansas State. I don't believe they're going to go on the road and win it, Manhattan, and maybe the Tulane game on the road. But other than that, every win is on the table for Army.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a pretty good schedule, and if they could get to 11-1 like they did last year, I mean, who knows?
Yep, I got them at 10 though.
I'm gonna put them at 9 because I think UTSA on the road. I mean, there's a couple of games in there,
there's a few.
That could be Tulane, Kansas State. There's a couple of games in there. I'm going to put them at 9, but I could very easily see them at 10 as well. So, I definitely could see that. All right, the next one we're going to get to is Navy, and they had a heck of a year last year as well.
They was the top of the football right out of the gate.
Yeah, both of these service teams last year was excellent, and I think most expect them to be right up there again this year, John.
Yeah, I mean, they started out 6-0 last year. Now they did get blowed out by Notre Dame. That pretty much knocked them out of any serious postseason. They lost to Rice and Tulane, which ended up costing them in the championship. They won 10 games, beat Oklahoma in the Armed Force Bowl.
They did.
They returned a lot of production. They got Blake Horvath back, who was in the Heisman consideration.
I mean, beating Oklahoma in a bowl game is nothing to sneeze about.
They bring back their coordinators, two of the best coordinators in the defensive offense. PJ Volker was their defensive coordinator. They only allowed 22 points per game. He's one of the most underrated coaches in the country. Blake Horvath is probably one of the best quarterbacks that nobody really knows and nobody really talks about. Had 30 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
17 of them was rushing. So he had a really good year last year, and expect Navy to be back in the run again, and I think they'll be right up there with Army.
Yeah, I mean, either one of these schools could be in the AAC championship game.
Yep.
I mean, very likely could be. I mean, wouldn't it be something if it was an Army-Navy ACC or AAC championship game the week before the Army-Navy game?
Yeah, it'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because the Army-Navy game is the week after by itself. So, now there's a chance that we get the Army-Navy game the week before the Army-Navy game.
Navy's offense is absolutely something. They was 6th in the nation in rushing. I think they was 3rd in yards per completion. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Blake Horvath, like I said, was a big-time player for them. Backfield is absolutely loaded. They got Nathan Kent, Eli Heidenreich. He was a really good primary slot guy out of the backfield. The defense was not great at times, but the offense made up for it. The thing about Navy and Army that most people don't know is that they love to just beat you and bang you to death. And that's what a lot of teams don't like.
Yeah, they play tough, like run the ball football most of the time.
Yeah, they
Now,
try to eat you up.
Navy did pass it a little bit more with this quarterback they got coming back last year.
Mhm.
So I think he had 12 or 13, 14 touchdowns.
And the schedule is kind of tough. I'll be honest. They play Rice, UAB, VMI. Those are winnable games. But Air Force, Army, Florida Atlantic, at Memphis will be tough. Memphis is another team we'll talk about.
Yep.
At North Texas, at Temple, at Tulsa, USF, and then they got at Notre Dame. So there's a couple of losses in there. Probably Memphis, most likely Notre Dame. North Texas will be good again. Army's another game that'll be tough. I think they'll have a great year, but I don't think it'll be the magical season they had a year ago. I think there's going to be some lumps again. But if you don't watch Army and Navy, just turn it on and just admire yourself at how they just run the football, how they don't make a lot of errors. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They play precise, control the clock.
And it's old school football. It's really old school football.
It's old school NFL 1960, 70.
Yeah, it is.
Speak your brains out till you fall apart or you commit surrender,
Yep. So what's your win total, you think, for this Navy
I got
team?
them at 9. I think 9 is probably a good bet for them.
I say 8 or 9. I think that's where they wind up. I'll go with 9, but I do think 8 is a possibility, to be honest with you. Looking at that schedule, so somewhere in that range. But I do believe that both of these service teams are really, really good teams this year. We're going to continue in the AAC. There's a couple of other teams here. Going to talk about UTSA. This is Texas. San Antonio is who this is, guys. If you don't know who UTSA is, they've been a pretty good football school the last handful of years.
Yeah, they're really good.
And
they bring back Owen Town. He was really good last year.
Yeah, and they opened the season against Texas A&M.
Yeah,
this week.
I'm telling you, I told somebody today, this is not going to be an easy game for A&M.
Nope. They opened the season at Kyle Field this week, and this is the kind of game that I was talking about with Western when they late in the season get LSU. This is the kind of game that would open up voters' eyes, not if they could just get a win, but if they can hang with them and keep this a 3-point game, with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter at Kyle Field, and then win most of their games down through the season.
And they returned 8 of their 9 receivers from a year ago. Production. Their top 9 receivers. They get William McCoy back. He led the team. He had 4 touchdowns. Houston Thomas is a really good tight end for them. They only returned 4 or 5 secondary starters on the offensive line, primary starters. Now, the defense is going to be a work in progress. They lost some. But my thing with UTSA, Brad, I was kind of reading up on them. Their schedule is just so tough. Their schedule.
The Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners, yeah.
Yep.
They play Texas A&M, Texas State, Incarnate Word, and Colorado State. That's 4 Power 4 schools and 2 Group of 5 teams that are really good and a really good FCS team. It's going to be tough to see 8 or 9 wins. I don't know if they're really capable of maybe going 6-2 in the league because you got to go on the road to North Texas. USF won't be easy. They play Tulane, Army at home, East Carolina. Now, with what we saw last year offensively, they're capable of winning those games, but I think there's about 3 or 4 losses in that group. But a bowl game is doable for this team, and I think they can shock some people as well.
All right. So, what's your predicted win total here for UTSA this year?
I'm gonna go 7. I think 7 is the right number. I think they'll be 7. I think they'll be above 500, and I think they'll get to a bowl game.
That's probably about right. 7. They do have a tougher schedule. Like I said, they start the year off at Kyle Field at
Yeah,
Texas A&M.
don't
That's
get
not
him
an
in.
easy place. So I can see 7 for them, but
Mm-hmm.
don't sleep on the Roadrunners and putting them in. You don't hear Roadrunners in college sports too often. So it's just kind of a cool little
Yes.
mascot, to be honest with you. That's not one you hear too often.
No.
All right, we're going to get to Memphis. And John, Memphis has had a pretty good run. I mean, FSU coach was there a few years ago. They've had a few really good coaches over the years here, last decade or so. They've had a good run. I know 2 years ago they knocked off some teams, and was really good. Last year they was a good team. I don't think they were right at the top of the AAC, but they have a
No,
chance.
they beat North Alabama last year. They beat Troy, a good Troy team. They
Yeah,
went to Florida State and knocked off the Seminoles, which Florida State was not great last year.
right.
They had that Power 4 victory, which set them up pretty good.
Yeah,
They lost at Navy, which was tough, but they only lost only one more game, and that was UTSA. They
yeah.
beat Tulane. They won the Frisco Bowl over West Virginia. They got another strong roster. I think they got a shot to make the AAC championship, and I really think that they got an opportunity to get to the college football playoff. With this
So this
squad.
is the first. Is this the first team that we've been on that you really think would have a legit shot at college football playoff?
Yeah, I mean, now I will say they lost their quarterback, Seth Hennigan. It's the first time in quite a while he's in the NFL. He was in the tops in the college football ranks. I think he was 13th in NCAA Division I with 14,000 passing yards. They got Brendan Lewis from Nevada in the portal. He made Mountain West last year, 24. He had 2,000 passing yards. Now, they did lose Mario Anderson Jr., who was really huge for them scoring. They bring 2 offensive linemen back, I think, 2 starters. They also added some guys through the portal linemen. They was actually ranked first by 24/7 Sports and was in the top 5 of the G5 programs. So I'm going to go on a limb here. I predict Memphis will win the AAC championship, and they're going to go over 9.5 wins.
Well, let's look at their schedule because they do have some opportunities. Because Memphis plays a couple of pretty good teams.
They play actually Arkansas this year.
Yeah.
And Arkansas is kind of an up and down team that we talked about in the SEC.
And I mean, you get a win just like the FSU win, even though it was not a great FSU team. It's a Power 4 win. You get a win against Arkansas, and I mean, people start raising their eyebrows.
Yeah, and they play Georgia State, Troy. They play USF, Tulane, Navy, FAU, Tulsa, UAB, Rice. Those are winnable games. East Carolina on the road. I could see Memphis winning that game. Even if they slip up against a team like Arkansas or maybe Navy, that's still going to put them at 10 wins.
Yep.
I think there's some discussion for them in the college football playoff, especially when the polls come out in December.
I mean, predicted win total here for the Memphis Tigers.
I'm going 10. I think this is the year. I think this is the year Memphis, makes that run.
Didn't they beat 2 years ago? Didn't they beat Mississippi State?
They did.
That's what I thought. I think it was 2 years ago. I believe
it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
But like you said, they beat FSU. Now they play Arkansas. They're kind of on a roll of beating a Power 4 conference team.
And the Arkansas game is at home, which makes it even easier. Makes it a better opportunity to win.
Yeah. So that's not going to be an easy game for the Razorbacks to go into Memphis. Not at all.
Not with the issues that the Arkansas fan base is going on with, and there's a lot of turmoil in Fayetteville, and knocking off a team like Arkansas can pretty much knock a coach out of a job. So
yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, I could see 10 wins for this team, and at least playing in the AAC championship game. I think it's on the table. And of course, if you can win it and have a team or two in front of you lose, could Memphis actually make the playoffs? I think they would have an outside shot. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's there.
All right. Another school we're going to get to, John, is James Madison out of the Sun Belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are the class of the Sun Belt, and they're not afraid to play teams. I don't think too many teams want to play them now anymore. But if James Madison runs the table and is 12-0, do you think they would have a shot and could win the Sun Belt, go 13-0?
Yeah, I mean, it's always possible. Everybody said, what are they going to do now? Kurt Signetti is gone.
Yeah.
He left for Indiana. Bob Chesney is the new head
coach. And took a bunch of players with him.
He kept on winning. They beat North Carolina, went 8-4. They beat Western Kentucky in the Boca Raton Bowl. They was 4-4 in Sun Belt. You got to be better against conference teams, which I think they'll be better this year. When their schedule sets up go for them, they play Weber State. Now they do play at Louisville and at Liberty back to back, which is going to be tough. Now, but from there,
definitely key games for them.
They play Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Louisiana, Old Dominion, Texas State, Marshall, App State, Washington State, which is a tough game, and then at Coastal.
That's what I say. So they do play some games against teams most of the time that, that Liberty game is not a conference game. That's an out-of-conference game.
It is.
And they play, the two Power 4 teams. So they play some schools out of conference.
I'll tell you, they have a lot of production coming back. Alonzo Burnett is a really, really good quarterback. I think he's still injured. He's recovering from an injury from last year, so it's unsure if he'll play week 1. But they got one George Pettaway, good running back, man. Wayne Knight is back. They're returning receivers. Pat McMurtry. He's one of the top first team tackles. I just think they're the top dog in the Sun Belt. They went 9-4 last year. Their first win in a bowl game in program history. And it just felt like a bad year for them.
And guys, that's because they've only been FCS or FBS for like 2 or 3 years.
Even before Chesney was the head coach, they were one of the top teams in Sun Belt. Since they jumped over from the FCS. I think they got a shot to win a conference title this season. They got the players. The coaching is still there. I know Signetti left to go to Indiana, but I think they still got a group of talented players to come back. Now, I will say the Louisville game and the Liberty game is going to be tough straight back-to-back weeks.
And then you got Washington State a little later in the season too.
Yeah.
So
now I will say this: You somehow pull an upset on the road at Louisville and beat Liberty.
Yep.
We're talking possibly a James Madison playing for a shot in the playoffs.
100%. That's why if they could pull those two early upsets and be sitting at like 10-0 going into the Washington State game, I mean, come on now. They will definitely
be honest with you though, Brad. I think just looking at their overall talent, I just think they got a whole better team than their whole division and their whole conference.
Yeah.
They're just so much better than everybody else.
I mean, I agree. I think they're the class of the Sun Belt. That's what I said when I introduced them. I agree with that. I'm going to say that this team gets to – I'm going to say that they get at least one win out of that trio of Louisville, Liberty, Washington State. I'm going to say they go at least 10-2.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I got them at 10-2.
Yeah, and if they could sneak another win or two, look out, college football playoff.
Yes, sir.
All right, John, we have only got 3 group of 5 teams left. We are going to get to Toledo. This is an interesting one for us because that is who Kentucky opens up with this weekend is Toledo. I have them as a top 3 group of 5 team. I am doing these in backwards order from 10 to 1. So I have this is the in the 3 spot here, to be quite honest with you. And Toledo has a couple of chances. They start out with Kentucky, of course. They get Western Kentucky in a couple of weeks. And I think just like we said about James Madison in the Sun Belt, I think Toledo here this year is probably the class of the MAC. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they are. Last year they beat Mississippi State on the road, but they did not win after that. They went 7-5, 4-4 in MAC.
Yeah, I think they went 500 in conference. Yeah.
Now they did beat Pitt in the bowl game, the 6 overtime game. Jason Candle's a really good coach, and I know Kentucky fans, they might be some watching here, and I'm going to say this. Tucker Gleason is really, really impressive, the quarterback. He's been around a while. He ran for 364 yards, threw for 2,808 yards, had 24 touchdowns. 6 of their top 9 receivers are back. Junior Vanderross, Connor Whalenczak is back. They're really good up front. This is a really good team. Now their defense is not as veteran typed. They got some young guys. Only 4 of the Rockets' top 12 tacklers are back off this team. It's hard to predict, Brad. I think they'll win 3 of their 4 non-conference games with Kentucky, Western, Morgan State, and Washington State. But even if they go, 2-2, 2-1, I think there's a good chance Toledo could be 7-1 in the MAC. Now, their only game that concerns me in the MAC is Miami, Ohio. They're supposed to be really, really good again. Now, I think they got the skill and the talent to stay above the MAC again this year and actually improve on the schedule that they had last year. I don't think they'll win the MAC, though. I got Miami, Ohio winning the MAC, but I think they'll go over the 8-win mark.
That's interesting because
I think the Kentucky game's key because everybody's picking the upset. There's a lot of people saying Toledo's going to, knock off Kentucky. We don't know what Kentucky's got. We talked about it last week. They're breaking in a new quarterback in Zach Calzada. They're breaking in a whole new offensive line. They're breaking in new wide receivers. It's a whole new group. People don't realize Kentucky lost a lot of players.
They have 50 new players on the team.
Yes. and they lost a whole group to the portal. And two of those was their star receivers, in Barry and Brown and Dan Key. And they replaced them with J.J. Hester from Missouri,
Kendrick Law
from Alabama, Stiletto from Clemson. So there's some new pieces on this Kentucky football team, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how Toledo matches up with Kentucky's new faces.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, John. They do play Kentucky, Western Kentucky, and Washington State. So, I mean, if they could somehow win those games, and I'm not saying they're going to, but if they could, I don't think it's crazy to say that those are like, I don't know, 30% chance winnable games. All of them, the Western games at home.
Well, and you got to remember the Kentucky game it started out, 11.5 point favorite, I think, 12.
Well, it's the first game of the season. So you catch a team. I mean, they haven't played. You catch a team early, you just never know. Now, I will say this while we're here. I do believe Kentucky will win this game on Saturday. I want to say that live here. But I do want to say that because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff people are saying. And I just want people to know here, I do have faith. Now, I think it'll be a close game, and Kentucky usually has close games early in the season. But I think Kentucky pulls this game out. However, even if they lose the Kentucky game, if they could run the table and beat Western, win all 8 in the MAC, beat Washington State, be 11-1, win the MAC, maybe be 12-1.
Possible.
I mean, possible. They would probably need a little help in front of them.
Yeah, because there's teams like Boise.
The AAC is probably going to beat each other up a little bit. There's several of these teams that we talked about. So if they beat each other up a little bit, you never know.
Yeah.
I got
them going 9. I got them going 9. So
9. I think 9 is probably a good number for this team. I think that's where I'll go to is 9. All right, John. You know what? I'm going to have to add one. I forgot one on my little list. Give me just a second. I did this in a hurry, and I skipped Tulane because Tulane should be next. All right, there we go. Tulane is our next team, John. Again, another AAC team here. We have done several of these on the AAC here. Like I said, I think a lot of these teams could beat each other up. The key here, I think, with Tulane, John, is they have some really key games, including Ole Miss early. If they could get that upset on an Ole Miss team that's kind of rebounding and replacing a lot, I mean, I think this Tulane team could have a shot.
Well, and they play Northwestern. They play Memphis, play UTSA. There's some possibilities here where if they win this, slate, maybe go 2-1. It's not out of the realm that Tulane could be playing for a college football playoff.
They have a great quarterback coming in. I want you to talk about the quarterback that's come in there kind of late in the process here.
Yeah, Caden Samoza. He was named MAC Freshman of the Year at Ball State last year. He's really, really good. Completed 64% of his throws a year ago. They added Brendan Sullivan. He played at Iowa. Donovan Leary is from
Didn't they
Illinois.
get the BYU quarterback late?
Ty Thompson. He was from Oregon. He's competing for the job. Man, they got some talent. They got some strong guys up front. Derek Graham, Shadray Hurst is really good on the offensive line of the ball. John Summerall was really active in the portal. They ranked second in the AAC behind Memphis. The defense is going to be really, really good. Their non-con schedule is really, really tough, Brad.
It is.
Like I said, they play South Alabama on the road, which I think they'll win that game. They play Northwestern, Duke, Ole Miss. At least one of those games, possibly Northwestern or Duke, it's a great chance that they could win those games. Now, the Ole Miss game, that's going to be tough. The at Memphis is going to be tough. I think it's possible. I do think they have enough talent to win their league games, though.
I agree with that. But
it's not going to be easy, though, because their schedule sets up really tough for them.
I want to talk about John Summerall for just a minute here. I mean, listen, John Summerall was a Kentucky player. He coached defense at Kentucky, went to Troy, won 2 seasons, won like 22 games or something at Troy, something crazy, 22, 23 games, won bowl games there, and goes to Tulane here. Last year was his first year there. This is his second season. He's tough as nails. He just has that old school football spirit and mentality. He breathes and bleeds football. I mean, when he speaks, when he talks, I mean, everything. I mean, he's the type of guy that can give you one of those speeches where you just want to run through a wall. If Summerall could get these guys to have a Northwestern and a Duke upset and beat UTSA and Memphis and a few of these teams.
Well, I mean, look at last year. They competed with Oklahoma.
Should have won the Oklahoma game, to be honest.
Yeah, should have won the Oklahoma game.
Yeah. And they should have won. And when I say should have, I think it was Kansas State that they actually. I think they won that game, and the refs gave it to them.
Yeah, that was the game that was the game you called me, and you was really aggravated with.
Oh, I was livid, man. You have no idea. They won that damn game, and the refs gave it to Kansas State. That game was over. I'm telling you, I don't remember exactly, but it was like a penalty on a last play or something, and they got another play. I forgot what it was, but it was crazy as crap. And Tulane actually won that damn game, to be quite honest with you. If Tulane can get the whistles on the road, because places like Ole Miss, and they played Oklahoma tough, I'm telling you, this is a legit team that could make the college football playoff. Now, they have to have a few things go their way, and they have to be 11-1 or something like that.
Yep.
But it could actually happen.
Yep. I got them going 9. I think the 9 is they could go over the 10, but I think the schedule is just too tough for them.
The schedule is tough. So 9 or 10 wins here, I think, is where this team probably falls. But, man, everything in me wants to pick them as the surprise team for the college football playoff. I'm just going to throw it out there. Part of me, that's the John Summerall love here talking, I guess, to be quite honest with you. But part of me definitely wants to pick Tulane here as a surprise. All right, John, we're going to get to Boise State. Of course, Boise State went to the college football playoff last year out of the group of 5, went undefeated regular season, I believe. Isn't that right?
Yeah, they went 11-1. They lost to Oregon by 3 on the road.
That's right. That was like first or second game of the year.
Yeah, they won the Mountain West. They beat UNLV.
Yeah.
They ended up losing to Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl in the playoff, but they did lose Ashton Genty. He's a Raider now,
which is a big loss. Let's just be honest.
Let's just be. He broke the FBS single season rushing record. Now they do got some guys coming back. Some of the key players. They got Casey on the O line. Madsen is back, the quarterback. They're still probably odds-wise the favorite group of 5 to make a playoff again. They have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. I think they'll win the Mountain West again.
And that's the thing. I think they're kind of head and shoulders above some of the Mountain West teams.
They are. Now they did lose Cam Camper, their top wide receiver. They got some stars, man, on the defensive side. Jaden Virgin Morgan, he's a really good edge. Then they got the Ty Benfield, the defensive back. He had 82 tackles last year. I'm going to go, and I'm going to say it again, Brad. I think they're going to win the Mountain West, and they're going to get back to the college football playoff. But I'm going to say this. Their schedule is not – I wouldn't say it's tough, but it's still tough. It's not as bad, I think, of some teams that are trying to fit into the playoff. You got games at South Florida, Notre Dame, the home game against App State. I think the non-con is pretty tough. You go 5-1 in that stretch with the Mountain West schedule that they got. 11-1 is not out of the possibility.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, John. I think the group of 5 team that gets here is gonna have to be 10-2 or 11-1 at worst.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, surely all the group of 5 teams won't lose 3 or 4 games. I just don't see that happening. I think you're going to have some teams with 0 or 1, maybe 2 losses. But Boise has been the class of the field. So what's your predicted win total here for Boise State?
I got them going with 10. I think Boise gets 10. No, I take that back. Give me 11. I think they'll win 11 games.
I mean, listen, Boise's going to be the favorite, and I think most people's going to have Boise in the college football playoff. I'm going to give them 10. I think they could get to 11 pretty easily with their Mountain West schedule. I just don't see a bunch of Mountain West teams that's going to challenge them. They play Notre Dame this year, so that's going to be a tough one. If they slip up and lose one more, I think they'll be 10-2. But they could be 11-1. So one of these teams will be in the college football playoff because it is guaranteed that one is a group of 5, or one group of 5 gets that 5th place guaranteed spot, conference champion spot. So with that, guys, we're going to flip the page and talk about college football playoffs. John, this is where we're going to make some season predictions for 2025 season. We have done our preview shows, all Power 4 conferences, and now talked about group of 5 teams. So who do you see making the 12-team playoff this year? And you can go through your list however you would like, whether that's conference rundown or team rundown, however you like to go talk about
I'm
it. So,
I'm gonna go by the SEC first. I got Alabama. I think Alabama returns back. Texas,
that's 2.
and I got Georgia.
That's 3.
Beyond that, the only other team that possibly could make a run is probably South Carolina, Ole Miss. But Ole Miss is breaking in a new quarterback. South Carolina's got a really good quarterback, Lenore Sellers. But
we'll get to contenders. We'll get to the contenders. I'll give you a couple of 3 actually, but just who do you think actually makes the college football playoffs in your predictions?
That's the 3 I got, and then you got that's 3 teams, right?
Yeah.
Penn State would be 4.
Yeah.
5 would be Clemson.
Okay.
6 would be Ohio State.
Yeah.
7, I think I'm going to go Notre Dame. I think they proved a lot of people wrong last year. They got a really tough schedule this year, but I think they got a chance to get there. 1 or 2 losses ain't really going to hurt them. I'm going to go Tulane. I think there's a real chance for Tulane to be in here. And
that's 8. That's only 8. You didn't say Oregon.
I did not. Their situation's a little, their quarterback, I think it's kind of muddled a little bit. They lost a really good quarterback and lost track of thought what his name was. The Oregon quarterback last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Was Dylan Gabriel.
Gabriel, that's right. How many do I need? What are they?
You only got 8.
8. I'll give you one. I'm gonna give Iowa State some love. I think Iowa State can get there. Matt Campbell.
Okay. Well, that's 9. That's the Big 12 team.
That's 9. Man, it's so tough.
I'll let you think about it for just a minute. So for me, I got 3 Big 10 teams that I think for sure is going to make it. I got Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think at least 4 SEC teams will make the college football playoff. Could be 5, but I think at least 4 right now. Preseason, I'm going to go with Texas, Georgia, Alabama, and LSU. So that's 7. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then I have Arizona State returning out of the Big 12, which would be 8. I have 2 teams out of the ACC. I have Clemson and SMU returning to the college football playoff. So that would be 10. I'm going to go with, I think it's going to come down to Boise State or Tulane. I'm going to lean towards Tulane as my group of 5 team. Boise State could definitely, that's who I picked last year, and they made it. So I'm going to pick Tulane this year as my group of 5 team. So that is 11. All right, for me. And then that's where it gets muddled because that's where it gets muddled because I think it could be a 5th SEC team. I also think that there's an outside shot that a team like Illinois sneaks in out of the Big Ten. I'm going to give it preseason. I'm going to give it to an SEC team. And I'm going to do a surprise here. I'm going to say South Carolina sneaks into the college football playoff in the 12th spot. That's who I'm going to go with Lenore Sellers. I'm going to say mine is a surprise team with South Carolina being the 12th team in my college football playoff.
And the other three, I guess I'll put in there.
Wait a second. You got three more to pick.
Arizona State would be another one. Oregon, put them in there. And then maybe Boise. 2 group of 5 teams. It just depends on the scheduling.
Yeah.
How they kind of come out of the schedule. And then I guess from there,
so that's our 12. That's our 12. So give me 3 teams that could be contenders to steal a spot, basically.
I'm going to go Florida, the Gators.
Okay. I don't think they're there yet, but okay.
I don't think they're there, but I think the health of DJ, if DJ Lagway is healthy, I think the Gators can make a run because they're, they started at the end of the year last year. They played really, really well. And the second team, I guess, would be Illinois. I think Illinois has got a really good football team. Now their schedule is going to be a little murky. It's tough. They play Indiana, Duke. There's some tough games in there.
Yeah.
And then the third team, I guess I'm going to go with South Carolina, like you said. I think Lenore Sellers is in the Heisman grouping with some of these other guys. It just all depends on the defense. We mentioned that last week.
That's my worry about the South Carolina pick. And so for me, the contenders, all right. So I'm going to put Illinois in this group. Okay. I think Illinois, I love what Brett has done with his team. And they are bringing a lot back. I'm going to put Illinois in this group. And then I tell you what, I'm going to put I want to say Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M brings back a lot, but I still think they're going to be 8-4, 9-3, and I'm not sure if they get there. So I'm going to scratch them. I'm going to say Miami has an outside shot out of the ACC instead of SMU would be a contender. I do not think the ACC will get 3 teams in. I think Miami could slide in front of SMU. And maybe
you just better hope that Mario Cristobal don't have a problem late in the game.
Yeah, I know. And then my surprise contender is gonna be the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, I think Missouri, their schedule sets up good for them.
That's exactly the reason why. I think the Missouri Tigers have a shot at going 10-2 in the SEC. And if they do, they have a great shot at sliding into the college football playoff.
And I'm going to say this. I didn't mention them, and I'll tell you why. The LSU Tigers. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I did not mention that.
I had LSU in, so
I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a big fan of Brian Kelly. I think, he's been there. He's 0-3 in season openers. They play Clemson Saturday, which is going to be another tough one.
it is.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they win Saturday. I just don't.
That's fair. It's a tough road game.
I think Clemson is going to be much improved. I think Dabo is kind of getting back on that train to getting back to Clemson football. You saw glimpses of it last year. I think they added some guys from the portal. Actually,
I think they're the top team.
I can't believe they actually added people from the portal.
Yeah.
Dabo finally dived in. I mean, it wasn't a lot, but he got some guys.
He got a few this time.
And then, I think thing about Dabo, people don't understand, is he is like, he develops a lot of his talent, his high school kids. And that's very rare in this day and age. And I think he's built that Clemson program that way. And that's just how he coaches. And I think you'll see that this year with what they had last year. That defense, like with I think is it Wood, the linebacker, maybe the linebacker?
Yeah, it's Wood.
Really good. They got some really good talent on that team, and I think they're going to show out. Peter Wood, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
So,
all right, John, we're gonna go from our 12 to the semifinals. Who do you have as the top 4 teams playing in the semifinals for the college football playoff in January of 2026?
I got Penn State, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Ohio State.
Penn State.
I think James Franklin finally figures it out, and he gets to that miss mark that he normally does not get to.
I mean, that's 4 really good teams. Penn State has a lot back. I mean, I can't argue with you there. My 4 teams, I'm going to say that Texas gets back to the Final Four, to the Final 4 teams playing. That's where they got knocked out last year.
I get what you're saying, but they got a talented defense coming back. But I love Arch, but he's just going to have to. It's his first year under center.
It is. But I'm going on record. I'm going to say that they get back to the semifinals. And I'm going to go with Texas. I am also going to go with Penn State. I'm also going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with Texas, Penn State, Ohio State. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've talked about Georgia. We just did the SEC show last week, and I picked Georgia to win the SEC. There's something about it. I just have a feeling late in the year. I got a feeling that Alabama may sneak into the Final Four teams playing.
That's what I kind of thought. I mean, they got the new quarterback they're breaking in, Ty Simpson.
But man, that defense, they have some really good wide receivers. Ryan Williams, but they have more than him, and that defense should be really good this year.
Alabama's got
I love the fact that Ryan Grubb is back with Kalen DeBoer. I think that's really going to help this Alabama team.
Well, and Alabama lost Jam Miller for a little bit, but getting him back, they got Ryan Williams, they got Jeremy Bernard.
I'll tell you another thing. The reason why I think Alabama's going to have one of the top offensive lines in the country.
They are. Caden Proctor, Gino
They're
Vandermark.
Yes, they're center. Yeah.
They're good up front.
I think they're going to have one of the top offensive lines in the country. And if you've got a good defense and a great offensive line with some good wide receivers, I just think that bodes well with a good offense with Ryan Grubb. I mean, I just think it bodes well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm telling you right here, College Sportscast, I think I'm picking Alabama as my fourth team here. And from there.
And I'm going to tell you my winner.
Well, we're going to go to our championship game. We're going to pick our two, and then we're going to go winner. Who's your two?
Penn State and Georgia.
Okay. Penn State and Georgia. I'm going to go. You know what? Heck with it. I'm going to say the big noon kickoff this week is going to be a championship game preview.
Fair.
Texas and Ohio State. That's what I'm going to say.
And I'm going to say this. You heard it here on College Sportscast and all over the globe. Kirby Smart has played. I wouldn't say Georgia has been bad the last couple of years, but they've not been Georgia standards. You know what I mean? Like they're not. It's now they did win a championship, SEC championship last year, but they had bad quarterback play at times with Carson Beck. They was inconsistent on offense quite a bit. Their defense was not Georgia-esque. They just wasn't Georgia-type defense. You saw that in the Alabama game. Ryan Williams ate them alive.
Yeah, their defense was definitely down last year.
I'm going to say this. Kirby Smart is pissed off this summer, and he's going to have them boys ready to go. And nobody motivates, and I've said it since, he left from Alabama to go to Georgia. And you even told me that. Nobody motivates their best players.
I think he's the best coach in college football. I will say that.
Best coach in college football.
I just don't think – I'm not sold on the pieces to win a national championship, but you go ahead.
I think they do defensively.
Yeah.
They got some pieces on defense. Now the offense, they got Gunner Stockton
as the SEC champion and knock off a couple of teams. I think they could absolutely.
You got to think they got Gunner Stockton, which we don't know what he's going to do. We saw last year, he had to jump in on Carson Beck. We don't know how he's going to react to things. Now they did bring back Nate Frazier, Josh McCray, the running back. Wide receivers, Kai Branch, Dylan Bell. They got maybe the best wide receiving core probably in the country. Next to Alabama, in my opinion. Now, Texas might have it. Ohio State's got some with Jeremiah the Bullfrog.
Yeah.
But defensively, Georgia has got the pieces. Isaiah Gibson is really good. I think if that's the same one, was he not the one that played at Kentucky? Or was that a different one?
I'll have to look that up, John. I'm not sure.
Because there was Isaiah Gibson. No, I take that back. He's a freshman. That's a different one.
Yeah.
Isaiah Gibson, Christian Miller is really, really good. Xavier McLeod is really, really good. The Sear Johnson is good. Jordan Hall. Their linebacker core is C.J. Allen might be the best linebacker in the country. Like that, nobody, except for maybe SEC that knows. Dalen Everett in the secondary, Ellis Robinson, DeMella Jones, KJ Bolden, Ja'Cory Thomas.
You've done named 25 defensive players. How many are they going to play?
They got a lot of depth. And With that
I'm just
being
asking,
said,
how
with
many
that being
guys they playing on defense? No
with
wonder
that
they're
being
going to be good.
with that being said, with that being said, Kirby Smart brings a title back to
I mean,
Dogtown.
when you're playing 17 versus 11, damn.
Yeah, but some of those guys was not starters. Some of those guys are backup step guys.
I'm just messing with you, John.
But I got Georgia winning the championship. I
I,
think
I'm
Kirby Smart.
I'm going to surprise. I'm going to surprise you because I am not a fan of this team. I'm
That's
going
fine.
Texas. I'm going Arch Manning. I'm a believer. Okay, I'm just going to tell you.
I'm a believer.
I think this kid is going to be the real deal. I know a lot of people are saying he's gonna be a bust. I don't see it. I really like the level. I think this kid is level headed. He talks well. He speaks well. The Mannings have the heritage. It's just been passed down generation to generation. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't see one of them being a bust. I really don't. I don't see that. I I think in a couple of 2 or 3 years, this kid is going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Give him 3 years from now. I really feel like he will be. I mean, it's just going to be passed down the line. I mean, they have a great defense and great pieces on the defense. They have good wide receivers. They got Baxter back in the running back room. I mean, I just feel like this is the year.
They ought to be good. They have what, a $16 million roster?
Yeah. And they paid a lot of money for the roster. They have.
Pray for me
I'm gonna,
too. I'm going to Kentucky, Texas.
I'm preseason here, guys. I'm picking Texas. Um, I just think it's the year. I really do.
Please
So,
pray for my sanity for the Kentucky, Texas.
gosh,
I'm going to that game and just pray for my sanity that night.
I'm not. We'll see about that game. That's going to be a tough one. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
So the next 3 days, Home Field Apparel has got a birthday bash going on. The next 3 days, there are new drops going on, new designs, over 70 plus teams, college, licensed college teams. So go check them out. They have new hats, trucker hats. They got some new tri striped crew necks on the 29th. Tomorrow they have over 200 new designs for over 70 plus schools. Check them out. Use our code CSCast at Home Field Apparel. That would be great. Also, check us out on the Real Fresh channel. Check out his shows, the Fresh Take Sports Podcast on the Real Fresh channel. Stadium Rant, go and like and share their channel on YouTube. They have a large array of shows. We appreciate that. We're going to be starting a new show next month called Wildcat Weekly. I am working on some interviews and some special appearance guests for this show with some of the media stuff that we are doing. So look out for a new show called Wildcat Weekly this year from College Sportscast. It will likely start Monday, September the 8th. Haven't confirmed that yet, but likely that is when it will start. We want to thank Eric Bird.
It is possible. I don't know that with the way the season is, I don't know football players wise who we can really get on the show, but
No, I'm not sure, but I'm working on volleyball and basketball and a few things. I'm also working on some football and basketball media guys that is well known that people would know. I'm working on. I'll just throw one out. I'm working on Larry Vaught as a big one that most Kentucky media people will know. John Huang. I'm working on him. I also have spoke with Sean Smith off of Sources Say from KSR. So I am working on some people, just trying to get some dates set. Listen, guys, when these people are busy, they're doing stuff. It's not easy to get
No.
these guys to have time to be on a show. But I am talking to some guys. I just threw out some names. I can't guarantee you that I can get these guys, but I know them. I've been in media now. I know these guys. Um, and if I can get some on, I will. But I'm, just throwing it out. I am trying to get some volleyball. Maybe Craig Skinner, the head coach of the volleyball. I have got a positive return. I don't have anything set up yet, but I am working on it. Craig Skinner's the longest tenured coach. Won a national title in 2020. Won 8 straight SEC championships, guys. 8 straight in volleyball. I mean, it's a big guess to be a big guess for us if I can. I'm working on it. We will see. But Bird's Eye View, I got that up on the screen right now. I want to thank Eric Bird from Bird's Eye View for helping us do some professional photography.
And to answer Joshua's question, I have not talked to Jason probably in a month.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jason's doing. We haven't spoken to him this summer. We've been off, to be honest with you.
He's actually coaching high school basketball.
Yeah, he is.
And there's a lot going on, so I have no idea what his schedule looks like for college basketball season. So I would love to have Jason back on. I like Jason.
Well, he is back coaching high school basketball now, so I'm just not sure if it's going to be feasible to get him on. To be honest with you guys, but this was our final preview show for college football. We just ran through our group of 5 and our college football playoff prediction picks here for John and I. But if you have time, go to Facebook or YouTube or the Real Fresh channel and check out our Power 4 conference previews. We have done them all month. We've done the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the SEC before today. And this Friday, Season 4 Game Day Pick'ems will begin. We are going to do them a little earlier. We're going to do them at 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern, so we can do a couple of the Friday night games. There's Auburn goes to Baylor, and we got Georgia Tech in Colorado play this week on Friday night. So we're going to pick those games on Friday. And then next week, the Big Fuss Show is going to return September the 2nd. That will be next Tuesday night.
Then
a week from today.
And then, not far from there, it's going to be basketball season.
Yep. And Wildcat Weekly is going to begin. I am doing some volleyball coverage. We are working on with football. I am talking with some football people. We got to go to Football Fan Day and Media Day this year, which was fantastic. We appreciate
Jaden Twain has got his driver's license. Did you see that?
Yeah, he finally passed it. Yep.
He did. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yep.
Pope picking on him, trying to get him, showing him how to drive.
Yep. All right, guys. We are going to wrap this one up. This has been the College SportsCast Group of 5 Best and College Football Playoff Prediction Show. And we look forward to a great season of college football and basketball, women's basketball, volleyball. We're going to be doing some coverage with that on our Wildcat Weekly show. So look forward to another year, a season 4 with you guys. Want to thank the Real Fresh channel and Stadium Branch and all that we do.
Wireman comes in right at the butt. I'm here for the party, he said.
Wireman's always coming in at the end. I'm here for the party. All right, man. We're going to wrap this up. I hope y'all have a great night. We will see you on Friday for Game Day Pick'ems.